In this video, we'll be going through the Jetdocs visual editor. This is an exciting piece of functionality that allows you to turn our regular forms that are in chronological order that look like this into PDF or document mimicking forms that look like this. This is great because each one of these fields is still a Jetdocs field, so all the data still flows through our system, it's all reportable, but it can also be exported to PDF, as well as you can add in header text fields and paragraph text fields to add more information to the end user. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what this looks like. So we're in the catalog builder, which again is accessible by both admins and editors, and we're going to jump into the form you were just looking at. Now our recommendation is always create your form as you normally would with our form fields and our workflow steps. Again, this is saying what information do we want to collect from users, and once we've collected it, who do we want to route that to inside of our organization. Then, once you preview the ticket with your regular form, and said this looks like how I want it to look in terms of what data you're collecting, then we can go ahead and actually design this using our visual editor. Now again, if I edit this, I can disable the visual layout. So when I look at my preview ticket, this is what I was referencing from a regular form perspective. However, once I toggle this back on and go back to preview ticket, we're now leveraging the visual editor functionality. So we'll go and create one from scratch. However, just to give you an idea of how this is laid out, when I start clicking on each of these, you'll see in the bottom right, we have a layout section. And this is essentially the hierarchy or tree of different data types inside of this form. So everything starts out with this page layout, and then we have sections below. So as I click through these different sections, you can see that different parts of this form get illuminated or highlighted. And then within each section, this is composed of various rows and blocks. And you can see here, when I click on this row, I can add a block below this. For example, it just got created here. And I'm going to delete this for now. But inside of each block, I either have the ability for it to be static text, which when this is selected, there's a paragraph below here, or if I click on this one, for example, this is block with field 2. You can see instead of a static text, I have a form input, and then I can actually choose which field from my form fields is this actually highlighting. So this should give you a general idea of how to get started. And when I click on each of these, different properties will appear. So for example, this is for a field where I'm choosing form input. I've selected field 2. You can have no label, for example, so it's just the output of what the user fills out. Or you can include to the left or on top what your actual form instruction is. Then you can, if you want, you can actually override what that form instruction is with label text. You can choose the background using hex codes, border colors, and things like that. You also have the ability to insert blocks. So for example, you'll see here now there's 2 blocks under this particular row. So block field 2, which is using a form input, and the second one is actually a paragraph field. You'll notice that the item above was pushed to the left, so it looks like it's not a full span. And so the idea is inside of our visual editor, each full width is 12 units. And so you can see here the column span is only 1, column span is only 1. But say, for example, I put this the 6, I clicked on this, and I also put this the 6, and then we're going to put this to 12. And so you can see here this is full width, and then this is divided by 2 into 6 and 6. So this is a high-level overview here. And as I mentioned, if we were going to go ahead and get started from kind of bare bones, let's just click into another Jetdocs template. Now you can see here, if I preview this ticket, there is no visual editor design enabled here. So if I click in here, this looks completely blank. So I can go ahead and click Edit Visual Layout. And as I mentioned in the bottom right on the layout side, this is where the overall page or template shows. So you have to click on here, and then you can go ahead and get started. So I can click Section, and add another section, and you can see here that each one of these has been created. Now again, this is easy to do from this perspective because I've already created my form with my form field. So this is the data I'm collecting, and this is my visual editor.